Hi, I'm Liam Schroen. I chose to do my assessment on learning to change a tyre. It's something I've only ever done once before. It's an important skill if you own a car. My motivation for doing so is intrinsic, as will aid in the development of a positive skill and foster a feeling of competence. Learning to change a tyre sounds like a simple process at first, but as I discovered, it was more difficult than I initially believed. My first step was to look at the owner's manual for the car. For me, it was a little bit too complex. I tend to learn best through interpersonal methods. I'm not very good with linguistic intelligence. So something so wordy gave me a bit of trouble. As a member of the net generation, my next thought was, of course, to take to the internet and watch a YouTube video. Observing the actions of the creator gave me the knowledge and confidence I needed to attempt change in a tyre. This observation ties into Watson's behaviourist theory. I'm learning through observing the actions, the steps of changing the tyre, and the outcome, successfully changing the tyre, occurring in the video, and developing the ability to replicate them, a change in behaviour. Drawing on these observations and the knowledge of my previous experience, or as Piaget's work regarding cognitive constructivism would suggest, I was assimilating new information within an existing scheme or framework to help consolidate and utilize this new information from the video. With these two factors at my back, I attempted changing my tyre. The video and my prior experience were helpful, but I wasn't quite there yet. I decided to rest my hopes on my dad to show me how to change a tyre, my knowledgeable other. Having my knowledgeable other give me a hand helped in scaffolding my learning.
Doing it wrong already?
Yeah.
You're releasing the wheel nuts before you lift the car off the ground because it holds the tyre.
Alright, well, back to step one then.
My dad was helping to facilitate the learning process, offering aid when it was needed, and allowing me to move through Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. As it's clear without his help, I'd be unable to successfully change the tyre. Having access to resources and support in the form of my dad's knowledge and experience acted as motivation for me to continue learning, even if I was struggling. Like when he pointed out I was jacking up the vehicle before loosening the screws. Having a knowledgeable other helping to guide me also assisted me in being able to reflect on my learning process. Thanks to his insight, I could analyze the process critically. For example, where I was proceeding in the correct order of steps, where I was placing the jack, or whether I was screwing the bolts too tight. All factors which influence the effectiveness of the job. Changing the tyre gave me a sense of accomplishment. I had achieved my goal, and along the way I displayed self-efficacy. I'd shown that I can change my tyre even though it was something I found quite difficult and daunting. I still had an internal belief that if I put my mind to it, that I could achieve it. Reflecting on my process of learning helped me realise what aspect of this task I could bring into my development as a teacher. The big one for me is addressing the zone of proximal development and ensuring students feel they're able to ask for help when I should step in while considering whether doing so will impact their learning. No one will learn if I do the work for them. However, students need to feel supported and may need assistance, as I did from my dad.